The rain pelted against the windshield as John gripped the steering wheel, his knuckles turning white. It was a stormy night, and the only source of illumination came from the dim headlights cutting through the darkness. He had just attended a late-night business meeting and was now heading home on the desolate country road. As he drove along the winding path, John's tired eyes struggled to stay focused. The rhythmic sound of the windshield wipers provided a hypnotic backdrop, lulling him into a drowsy state. He knew he had to stay awake and remain vigilant, but the rain and the monotonous drive were taking their toll on him. Suddenly, a flash of lightning illuminated the road ahead, revealing a silhouette standing in the middle of the path. John's heart skipped a beat as he slammed on the brakes, the tires screeching against the wet pavement. The figure, dressed in tattered clothing, appeared to be a disheveled man, his face obscured by shadows. Confused and filled with a sense of dread, John cautiously lowered his window. The stranger's haunting eyes gleamed with an eerie intensity. His voice was a low, raspy whisper, cutting through the storm. "Help me," he pleaded, his voice filled with desperation. "Please give me a ride. It's dangerous out here." John's instinct screamed at him to drive away, but something about the man's pleading eyes tugged at his conscience. Against his better judgment, he reluctantly opened the passenger door, allowing the stranger to climb in. The stench of damp earth clung to the man's clothes, filling the car with an unsettling odor. As the car continued down the road, the stranger began to speak, his words laced with an unnerving darkness. He spoke of ancient curses and forgotten rituals, of spirits that roamed the night seeking revenge. John's unease grew with every passing moment, but he couldn't bring himself to interrupt or ask the man to leave. The storm intensified, and the rain pounded against the roof of the car, making it difficult to hear anything but the stranger's disturbing tales. Lightning flickered, casting eerie shadows across the man's face. John's heart raced, and a cold sweat trickled down his spine. In the midst of the storm, the car's headlights caught a glimpse of a dilapidated house on the side of the road. The stranger's eyes widened, his voice growing more urgent. "Stop! Stop the car!" he cried, pointing at the decaying structure. "That's where I need to go. You must take me there." Fear and confusion overwhelmed John, but a strange force seemed to pull him towards the house. Against his better judgment, he steered the car toward the desolate property. The rain battered against the windows, obscuring his vision, but he pressed on. As they approached the house, a chilling silence fell upon them. The storm seemed to dissipate, leaving only an unsettling stillness in its wake. The stranger directed John to stop in front of the decaying porch, his eyes burning with an unnatural intensity. "Thank you," the man said with a sinister smile. "You have served your purpose." Before John could react, the stranger lunged at him, his hands transforming into long, gnarled claws. Terror consumed John as he fought against the creature, but its strength was overwhelming. The last thing he saw before darkness enveloped him was the twisted grin on the stranger's face. Days later, the police found John's abandoned car near the old house. The locals spoke of a cursed dwelling, inhabited by a malevolent spirit that preyed on unsuspecting souls. The legend of the man who drove home at night became a cautionary tale,